smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. Raw Molly got me all up in demon mode. Mouth moving like I done put clean in my nose. Tryna catch me up, I can leave with some hoes. He standing straight up, watch I make him lean with this pole. Would've thought he was closed, how that heat made him fold. Thought it was a game, he won't think no more. His brain's gone, nigga. It be exciting when I get to striking. Guns sound like thunder, hit you like lightning. Fight for your life, we don't do no fighting. We really hit it, nigga. We worse than savage, they calling us Vikings. Police be riding, we still be sliding. Told you we hit us, remember the time. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. How about I leave them holding like the Bible? AR-15, that's a high-power rifle. A in the army and assassinate rivals. Break that shit down, nigga. AK to anybody kill. Hop out, get the drilling and spilling. 7.62 gon' split. LPN, that's for any fuck nigga. You a plug, then I'm pulling up, nigga. You my lunch, eat these bullets for dinner. 5.0, eat 'em up, eat 'em up. SK, smoke killer for show. Drum rounds and cripple ops Draco. I got 'em all, you don't want none. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I can squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I can squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding.
What's up, fam? We in this. Y'all hear me? We in this bitch. Like I say, like a overweight and some spandex. We in here. What's good with everybody? Peace and blessings to everybody today. How everybody doing today on this fine hump day? First off, shout out to my guy, All Things, who's always here. Coach Amber, peace and blessings, Queen. All Things, Shalom King. Ox Steel, my guy. Salute, King. Nate Dogg, D1, a.k.a. The Savage. Salute, King. EBT sweat a lot, but he's still a cool mother. Peace and blessings, King. We in here. We in here tonight. What is afternoon? What's going on with everybody? How everybody's day been today? Well, man, I'll tell you one thing. I know we about to get some boxing this weekend. We about to see if Tim Zoo a hype train or not. That's what I'm talking about. And for another thing, Cameron and Gilly, man, I'm tired of the way they disrespect boxers, man. Like Cameron, he was my guy. He can rap his tail off. But Cameron, I don't want to hear you talking no thug, gangster, fighting stuff. None of that, my man. None of that. Like, Cameron, you lost your G-Pass, my homie. You the same guy that was at the park and ran. I'm talking about ass out. It was nasty. Ass out, boy. You left Jim Jones there. Coach Ari, Shalom. Like, you left Jim Jones get jumped on, Cameron. You ran. You hightailed it. You used to get beat on, bro. So how? And that's what makes me so mad. Like, so many people have so much to say about what boxers are doing and what they were doing that the average person, 100, maybe 200 pounds, that comment can't go 2 rounds with Nonito Donaire, who is a 118 pounder. I feel like a 118 pounder like Nonito Donaire will stop most of these people because he knows the art of punching. He knows how to box. off the lot and come to the gym, they struggle to make it a 60-second round. And I'm gonna tell you, if you ever fought anybody like Street Fighter, anything, 10 seconds is a long time in a fight. People be gassed out with 10 seconds. So we're not gonna sit there and talk. Athletes risk their lives to get in there. They fight. And a lot of people may think that Charlo didn't do his best, but I feel like, look, Charlo did what he had to do to survive. The man felt some power that he couldn't contend with, and he decided, look, I'm not trying to be a meme, but still, people missed the point that he did strike that man with 18 clear shots, though. Coach Armour, drop the link if y'all want to hop up here and get the bake started. I think Key will be here in a little bit, but yes, Coach Amber, 60 seconds is a lifetime in that ring. That's why I said no Nito Donaire, a flyweight. We'll put some of these people down. But yeah, Cameron and Gilly, both of them just culture vultures, basically. They just like to put our culture down. Like, I feel like this, if you never got in that ring and you never threw a punch or box, I feel like you can't really discredit somebody that's out there risking his life day in and day out, going through the training camps, putting in that work. Sometimes, man, you got somebody for you. And if you look at the shots that Charlo took, I mean, he got a 10. He was taking them shots. But Charlo fought kind of how Andre Ward did the first time versus Kovalev. He was grabbing and he was hitting. Andre Ward wasn't just sitting there mixing it up with Kovalev his first time. Andre Ward, first time fighting Kovalev, he was a lot more timid because, he was coming up in weight. But, when he fought him again, he had got a chance to adjust to the weight. See, if Charlo had another fight up there, I think he would be a lot different fighter. But, it is what it is. But that sets the stage. A lot of people talking about Terrence Crawford would have did a lot better. He might have done better, but he wouldn't have lasted the whole fight. The man, if he would have fought the way y'all talking about, Aaron Muhammad, salute, King, peace and blessings. If Terrence Crawford is fighting the way that y'all want him to fight, Terrence Crawford going to Nodville. He's going to be nodding and dozing before that fight's over with. And that's just facts, bro. You can't go against a big elite fighter like that and expect, especially if you can't hurt somebody. Like, y'all see them kung fu movies and y'all see the kung fu master that's beating up everybody, and then he come against that one dude that he hitting him with everything, and everything he hitting him with ain't doing nothing to him. That's what Charlo was doing. He was hitting the man with everything and wouldn't happen. Coach Amber, peace and blessings, Queen. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I had some downtime. I don't know how long I'll be able to be on. I got a call I get on later. Remember how I told you I wanted to rock with the whole Clarissa thing? I'm gonna wait till Friday, because Friday I'll have time. Like, I want to swing back to that.
To which one?
Because how everybody was talking about Clarissa Shields yesterday. Yeah, I'll bring that up on Friday. Because
What do you think happens between Mike Rhythm, salute, King? What do you think happens between Shadeja and Clarissa anyway?
Off the top of the head, I mean, Clarissa should win that fight, but I mean, she got to show me. I mean, just show me.
Mm-hmm. Going against this juggernaut that's 11-0 with 9 knockouts, 5 first round.
I think Shadeja should give her a run for her money. And what a lot of people don't realize is that, okay, Shadeja, she's a boxer, but she's also a world-class athlete, not just with boxing. I mean, she had an amazing run through college basketball. Yeah, like, yes, she's literally a world-class athlete.
Yeah, Shadeja is a world-class athlete, and she's part of that alphabet community, even though I respect her, So, she considers herself a real ninja. You feel me? So in her mind, she's going out here boxing these women like she's a ninja, and she's putting them down. Like, her KO percentage is like 85% in female boxing. That's damn near unheard of. She's 11-0, 9 knockouts, 5 in the first round. Like, she's going in there and she's slaughtering people. And she's been calling Clarissa, and she's been calling Franchon Cruz's name. And they act like they don't hear this young lioness calling their name.
Well, they have
That,
a backstory too. They used to be friends,
yeah, I know. But
and
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, no, I mean they have a backstory, so I feel like the build up to that fight could be really well. Shadeja is honestly the only person that I can think of that would give Clarissa a run for her money, like a
Exactly.
real run for her money. I'm not saying that she's gonna win. I know she's gonna win. I
I
mean
think
that's a toss up fight, honestly.
I think Shadeja lets her feel the power. I feel like Shadeja shows Clarissa that power, and I think she hurts Clarissa in that fight. But I feel like Clarissa's gonna try to go out there and try to slug it out like she did with Savannah Marshall, to try to show Savannah that she can outpunch her, and she's gonna get in there and she's gonna try to outpunch with the wrong one. And I feel like Clarissa's
Yeah,
gonna,
that'd be a mistake.
yeah, because if you know Clarissa got a lot of pride, and she always bragging about her power, and she say people don't respect my power and this like this, but I got power. So you know she's gonna try to make a statement, and Shadeza's gonna give her what she asking for. But I got it a true 50-50 fight. Like I feel like that's the only female in boxing that can give Clarissa a good fight. And I feel like they both should garner $1 million payday for that fight. Like I think Clarissa should get her first $1 million payday off of that fight right there. Like, you got Katie Taylor getting $1 million and Amanda Serrano. I mean Serrano, she deserves it, but I feel like hey, if they can get it, why not Clarissa? I mean, she did more for female boxing than any other boxer in the history. 3 times undisputed, 2-time gold medalist. Come on now, that right there is Hall of Fame worthy. Greatest of all time. Talk for a female. But
Okay, go
what I was gonna say,
go ahead, go ahead.
okay, yeah, what I was gonna say. This is the only thing that gets me. Shade's been calling you out for about 2 years now. You for Sean for about 2 years. But soon as Alicia Bumgardner say one thing, you on her neck. That's why I've been talking about people picking and choosing. And see, Alicia at first didn't even put a name to it. You feel what I'm saying? So Clarissa was feeling some type of way. Because if you look at it, Alicia didn't put no name to it. Like she just said a general statement, basically. But you know, I know how women be knowing when somebody talking to them. But hell, Shade's been talking to you. That's all I'm saying. Don't have a Glock with a safety on. If you gonna have that Glock and let that Glock rip, let it rip on everybody. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, here's my thing, and this is why I wanted to wait till Friday, but I got a good hour or so, like yeah, about an hour. Um, I like
Well, come up here and
I
explain them politics, Coach Ari. You and Coach Amber. You can come explain it with
I
us.
consider myself a Clarissa fan. I try to be a fan of hers so bad. I'm rooting for her. I want her to do well. I want her to be successful. She is on my Mount Rushmore as far as female boxing goes.
I got her at number one.
But
I
I
got her over
mean,
Wolf and Layla.
your Mount Rushmore, it's subjective, just like a pound for pound.
I just feel like she did more with less fights than any of them all ever did. Like she rushed
Well,
into all the championship fights.
okay. Um, let me
But it's subjective.
let me explain from my point of view because I'm talking about just women's boxing in general.
Uh-huh.
Where like I said, I'm rooting for her. I want her to do well. Will she possibly be the GOAT? GOAT, possibly, most likely. But my bone to pick with her is I have a problem with her tearing out pages of the history of women's boxing. That's what I have a problem with.
Oh yeah,
And the reason,
don't down the past to big up yourself. Yeah, I don't like that.
yes, and the reason that resonates with me and really strikes a chord is because we've had this discussion before. When I was fighting, women were not allowed to compete at Golden Gloves. I literally competed in the first Dallas Golden Glove tournament where women were allowed, girls were allowed,
Wasn't
and
that
at
like
that we weren't
99?
allowed to advance.
I talk about wasn't like 98, 99 when they started letting women compete for Golden Glove.
99.
Yeah, I thought it was around that time because we was always competing. But I remember like 99 was the first time I seen a female compete. I was like, oh, they got women doing this now.
Yes, and at that we weren't allowed to advance. Like the boys, they get to go on. They get you win in your local LBC.
Yeah, then
Then
we
you
go
go
to
on to
the
regionals.
regionals.
I mean, then you go
Then
on
we
to
go to
state. Then you go on to
national.
regionals and
Then
nationals,
national.
etc.
Yeah.
So as a woman, as a female, I've literally been here since the beginning, since women's boxing was in its incubancy. So I've literally watched it
Infancy.
blossom, but before my very eyes.
Y'all
You
paved the
know,
road and
the
let her do what she do.
exactly. And I was all for her, fighting in her hometown, Pistons, all that good stuff. But when she got up there on the podium and basically took credit for the entire sport of female boxing, I had a problem with it. I really, really did. Because, Christy Martin is the reason I picked up a pair of gloves in the first place. In no particular order, my Mount Rushmore consists of Christy Martin, Ann Wolfe, and Clarissa Shields. And that last spot isn't filled yet. For all I know, the GWOAT hasn't even been born. Been born. Like the GWOAT could be boxing in a garage right now
Or it
because
could,
female
or it
boxing
could
is
be,
so young.
or it could be Shadeja Green who hasn't got a shot yet. Because
Exactly. Like female boxing isn't even 50 years old yet.
no,
We're barely creeping up on a quarter century. So it's like, okay, the GWOAT, but we've only been doing this going on 25 years. And, I just really had a problem with her, talking about these older women calling them, oh, well, they didn't have no real skills. They were just soccer moms out there punching each other in the face. I had a problem with that. I had a real problem with that because I've
and
literally
see,
I've literally seen and been a part of
and when you
paving
see
the
that,
road that y'all get to run on. I had a huge problem with
like you
that.
get all this great training, like she get all this great training and all this because y'all had to go out there and do it without the great training. Like y'all had to sit there and build this thing from nothing. Like if it wasn't for y'all putting down the style and the skills, what would she have to go off of? Like anybody can build a house, but if you don't got the blueprint of how a house is made, how would you even start to build a house? Like if there's no structure, if it's never been a house built, like who's gonna just structure it? It has to be Edgar Chavez, salute, King, peace and blessings. Like you got to realize that people lay the structure and the groundwork, and that's how people are able to strive and thrive and survive. Like
Somebody has to be the guinea pig. Somebody has to go through the trial and error. Like I just had a problem with, tearing out multiple chapters of the history of women's boxing and just being like, oh, I made it all happen. What? No.
that's called selfishness and arrogance, and that's our problem a lot. Like we're real selfish and arrogant. That's why it's hard for us to get ahead of each other, and that's why a lot of people hate having one of us as their boss, because I hate to say it, but we get power hungry. Like we don't know how to accept. Like it's like we haven't been here before. It's like show some class, show some decorum. Act like this ain't your first time being great or being in a situation like that. Come on now. But it's hard for us to do that, and that'll be our problem right there.
Are you familiar with Paulie Ayala from
Who?
out here in DFW?
Who you say?
Paulie Ayala
I don't think
fought
so.
Johnny Tapia.
Yeah, I know Johnny Tapia, no.
Well, look up the fight between him and Paulie Ayala. Paulie Ayala is from out here in DFW,
I
Fort
think
Worth.
I, I think that was a fight where that dude took Johnny Tapia to the edge of his limits, where everybody counted the man out and he was busting Tapia up. Was that one?
yeah, he gave him all he could handle, and
Yeah, I
he's
seen
from
that.
out here in DFW.
Yeah, I seen that. He was like a 5-1 underdog, and he would tear Tapia ass up. Yeah, I remember that one.
Well, he's from out here. He used to spar some of my teammates and whatever, and I run into him from time to time, and we were catching up, and like I basically throughout our conversation, I told him, I was like, yeah, I was like, I'm a dinosaur. Like I was telling him what I'm telling you. I was like, man, I was like, I remember competing the first year that they let girls in. I was like, I'm a dinosaur, and he was like, no, you were a trailblazer. And I had never really thought about it like that before. So hearing like Clarissa say things like that, it's like, dude, like Come on now, like it's borderline hurtful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know, people say a lot of stuff to try to get attention, and they don't realize. Well, you know, any attention is good, whether it's positive or negative. They feel like any of them is good. Well, it's true. Any attention gets you views, and you know, like I think Clarissa's trying to be like she's trying to take Floyd's motto. If you look at it, like Floyd was brash, arrogant, and people hated him. See, a lot of people bought Floyd fights to see him lose. Like Seth M, salute. A lot of people weren't fans of Floyd Mayweather. Like the reason why Floyd and Pacquiao sold over 4 million pay-per-view buys is because everybody thought Pacquiao had the remedy for the Floyd Mayweather problem. But in actuality, he got beat just like everybody else. But see, that's the problem. People want your hate more than your love because hate sells. And so, you know, Floyd set the blueprint. So a lot of people try to take pages out of Floyd's book and try to do it. Alexander Lau, salute, King. So everybody try to do it how Floyd do it instead of putting the whole thing together. So it comes off as has been broken and jargon, really. But that's why I feel like Clarissa take that fight. It's going to humble her. Even if she beats Shadeja Green, she's not going to walk out of there scarless. Like, she's going to have a
I agree.
competition. Like, people like
I
that.
agree. Even if Clarissa does beat Shadeja, I would not be surprised if Shadeja walked away with her pound of flesh. I would not be
Well, she's
surprised.
going to take more than her pound of flesh. That's why I feel like Terrence Crawford, he needs that fight where somebody gets on his ass, where you have to see him really dig in. And when he does that, he'll become a much better fighter. He'll be a much better fighter and a much more undiva like Terrence Crawford. Like a lot of fighters, once they've been pushed to that realm, Cool J Salute King, open it, get pushed like that, then that's when their true time comes out and they get more respect. But when you steady outclassing your opponents and they're not doing that, then you get a lack of empathy for your fighter, who you fighting against. And Clarissa really hasn't had no big challenges. So really she feel like she's league above her competition. But like I said, I don't feel like you fought the right competition yet. Exactly, Aaron Muhammad. They have selective memories. For real.
I mean, I'm
I feel
giving
you on that, Coach Amber.
the
Like,
women the
I
same
feel like a
energy
lot of
I
these
give the
fighters
men.
are
Like, give us the
disrespectful
fights we
to the
want to
people in
see.
the past. But, you know, experience is the best teacher. A lot of them will be humbled at some point. In the same way they were disrespectful, like, it's nothing new under the sun. So, another fighter years later will be disrespectful with their name the same way they was. Like, you know, it all comes around in cycles. We'll see another Floyd Mayweather eventually. Maybe not as great as Floyd, but hey, the world is an amazing place. And people are learning amazing skills each day. And each generation is becoming bigger, faster, and stronger. You know what I'm saying? Because with the enhancements, with the workout equipment, like the new styles, like each style that these boxers learn, like when the Philly shell first came out, it wasn't perfected. Like it takes people to perfect a certain style. Like each style has been perfected from years of people using it and making it better and honing it and crafting it. That's just like Chinese martial arts. Like it starts off at an infancy stage, and as it goes, it builds and it grows stronger. And that's when people are able to update it, upgrade it, and do better. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly, and that's
And
what I
Coach
feel
Evan got
like.
to cut
That's
out
why I
on me.
feel like female boxing. It's still honestly in
Coach
its
Evan, you still there?
toddler, maybe adolescent stage. Like it's still new. Like
You
I
got
never in my
Brandon House,
wildest
Salute
dreams would I've
King.
been able to
Can
imagine
y'all hear me?
a female Olympic team.
Oh, okay. You just was cutting in and out. Hold on, I'm about to switch to my pad anyway. Hold on a second. Yeah, you go ahead and
I
talk.
like Clarissa. I want her to be successful. I just homage goes a long way, especially when it comes with fanfare.
Okay, I had to switch my devices. Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, I had to switch devices. I was just making sure. All right. All right. Well, yeah, you
That's
want
it. That was my little rant. That's it.
Oh, okay. We appreciate it. It was good. But what I was gonna say, right? The fights that we have this weekend, right? We got Tim Tszyu versus Brian Mendoza. How do you see that fight?
Honestly, I don't even care. I'll be honest with you, Ever.
You don't?
Mm-mm. No, I mean I care that it'll affect the 154 division, but you know I've never been a fan of Tim Tszyu. So if he win, cool, line him up for Charlo. If he don't, hey, I guess you weren't as good as everyone said you were.
Yeah, I like it because I feel like it's gonna be a test of because Brian Mendoza is the real deal. Salute Key. There go the link right there to my other co-host, Key Alexandria. But I feel like Brian Mendoza has fortitude. Strap season salute. Oh, never mind. You a troll. Talking about the GOAT Logan Paul. Alrighty.
So what, like the winner of that fight, like who would you rather see measure up to Charlo, Mendoza or Zoo?
Actually, I would love to see Tim Tszyu in there with Charlo and get humbled so bad. But I've been rooting for Brian Mendoza because everybody counted Brian Mendoza out when he got beat by Jesus Ramos, and like he reinvented his career. Like he went up to 160, stopped Jason Rosario, then he moved back down and stopped Fundora. Like I feel like he stopped the cheat code. Cause everybody was big on that Fundora and he stopped it. He stopped Mr. Cheat Code. So I feel like I'm rooting for Brian Mendoza, and I've seen him go through war, and I've seen him take punishment because he sat there and took punishment from Jesus Ramos for 12 rounds. And I'm talking about not little punishment. He was taking earth-shattering, back-breaking shots. You feel me? So I know.
Was that before or after he fought the little dude with the shaved head that was like a
You
total
talking about
lopsided
Spencer?
mismatch?
Oh,
Spencer, yeah.
he fought Mendoza before Spencer.
Oh, okay, okay.
I think he fought him like 3 fights before Spencer. This one he was on his knockout streak because I think he was like 16-0 with 15 knockouts. Now he's like 20. Well, he's 20-1 now with 16 knockouts. But yeah, this is when he was on his knockout streak. I dropped the link for you already, Key. But yeah, so that's when he was having his little knockout tear.
If that's the case, would you want to see him run it back later on down the line?
Him versus Ramos.
Yes, sir.
You know something? Now that you said it, that would be a great fight right there. Because I feel like now that Ramos has just lost to Erickson Lubin, I feel like Ramos is not going to show nobody no type of.
We lost you.
Y'all give me 1 second. Welcome to the stage, Key. Young World, salute, King.
Hey,
Hey, you
Key.
guys, can you hear me, Coach?
I can hear you.
How are you doing today, Coach?
I'm doing all right. It's hump day, so I'm doing all right.
So go ahead, rewind for me. So you said, what were you speaking about with women boxing real quick? Because that was interesting. I came at the tail end of it.
women's boxing isn't even a quarter century old. Okay, like 99 was the first year I competed at Golden Gloves. That was the very first year that we were allowed to. What next year in 2024 will barely hit the 25-year mark. And in my wildest dreams, I never would have been able to imagine a female Olympic team. And I was just ranting and raving that, I just really wish Clarissa would pay a little bit more homage to the people who came before her, because I was a part of that movement. Like growing up out here in Dallas, trying to get them to let us fight. Like literally, the rally cry was "Let the girls fight, let the girls fight." Like people be out there with signs and everything. And when they opened up Golden Gloves to us, we thought we won. We thought we made it. Never in my wildest dreams did I think that there would be a female Olympic team that would be welcome to work side by side in Colorado Springs. I tell my female fighters all the time, like, you don't know how good you have it. We would train for 2-3 months at a time, enter a tournament, and not get a fight because female fighters were far in between. It was really hard. But over the years, more females got into it, and now every time I enter any of my girls, they're almost guaranteed a fight. Sometimes if they don't get a fight, it's because there's too many in one weight class and they don't have enough time for all the bouts. So just the evolution of it, it's still random. It's still kind of new. I mean, it is new. Boxing's been around 100 years. We've only been around not even 25.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for being a part of, history, breaking down those doors, breaking down those barriers for us women in the sport. I've never gotten in the ring before, professionally or amateurly, but I take my hat off to women, especially because I remember those, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember what they used to say. There's still people to this day that does not respect the fact that women are boxers. Just like they don't respect the fact that women are basketball players now. Some of them are killing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they games be lit. So I do want to give you your flowers and say thank you. And I totally understand. I love Clarissa Shields. I've never, as far as right now, she's a good talent. She's a great talent, excuse me. My thing with her was when her and Layla Ali used to go back and forth and the things that she used to say about Layla. And when it comes to the Ali family, I'm sensitive. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't play when it comes to Ali and his daughter.
I was upset about that too.
Yeah, okay. I thought I was the only one. I didn't really respect that. And it was so crazy when I kept hearing people say that, Clarissa's gonna dog walk Layla. And I'm like, yo, Layla? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, now of course she's older, she has her family and everything. I'm sure she's not worried about that as much, worried about it. I'm sure she's not gonna get back in the ring, probably only for the right price. But Layla paved the way. She's one of those people that paved the way. So that was my one thing that I was like, okay, Clarissa, just a little, I didn't like that. But Clarissa is a generational talent. I would like to see her in there with Shadeja Green. I think that I said it yesterday, end on that note. You know what I'm saying? Get you a couple more fights in and let that be your big one and end, and may the best woman win. I don't think that she will be able to, just barrel through Shadeja. I don't think so. I think Shadeja's going to give her the toughest fight she's ever had. What do you think about that?
I think so too. I think that Shadeja will finally be the fighter that will be on an even playing field. Because, because like I said, I mean, the Layla Ali thing wasn't the only thing that rubbed me the wrong way. Like, I don't know how familiar you are with KQKC. When you get a chance, look up his interview with Christy Martin. And if that made your blood boil, that, what she says in that interview will also make your blood boil, which I had already known about that and some other things.
Wait,
And
what
I
do you mean? What
mean,
she said? Wait, he had the interview with her, with Clarissa, or with who?
no, with Christy Martin in her first encounter with Clarissa.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, just look that up whenever you get a sec. Like, she talks about her first encounter with her. Um, and I just don't like downplaying the OGs because, two words, Ann Wolf. I mean, how would she measure up to an Ann Wolf? Because Ann Wolf was laying people out.
That she was knocked out. She was knocking them girls clean out. Now, did she hit like a
Like,
man?
yes, Ann Wolf was a knockout queen. Like,
Knockout
she,
queen. I
and on
I
top of
think
that, she's a great trainer. On top of that,
yeah, she does really good work. I'm hearing in with amateurs, correct?
amateurs and professionals,
And professional.
Like, a lot of people don't know. Like, oh, his name escapes me now. Is it Jacobs? Daniel Jacobs? Um, she trained him, and you know, they there's what they put out into the media, like, oh, this is the reason why he broke ties with her, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, fine, that's what they want to put out there, but behind the scenes, there was a lot of rumors that a big part of it was they did not want a woman in that corner. And that's a part of the reason why he broke ties and ended up losing that fight.
That's a lot of reasons though. A lot of men don't like a woman in that corner though. But Al Booger salute King. But like a lot of people don't realize, a lot of women can see some things too. And I heard you say that the women's basketball is lit key. I mean, I've been watching some of the women boxing, and I ain't gonna lie, some of it's good, and some of it they be missing some crazy shots though. But it's still growing. Like I like watching it because it's more like they play their hearts out more. You don't get as much egotism and stuff like that. Like it's like watching a good high school game for real, for real. But it's women don't even like to support it, and that's the problem. Women be hollering about this equal rights and all that stuff right here, and that women should get paid the same thing as men. And I feel like this. It's just like Terrence Crawford and Devin Haney in boxing. Revenue is what causes you to get paid. If a person's not watching you or not bringing asses in seats and not making the money, then how can you get the same thing as the other person that's packing out the stadiums? That's what I'm saying. And for one thing, women have to support their boxing. Women aren't supporting their boxing. More men watch women boxing than women do. And I'm just being honest. I went to a women's boxing match and it was hardly any females there, but it was a lot of men there. Like women don't support their own sports, and that's why it doesn't get off the ground or take off the way it should do. And I'm just being honest with it, and that's a male's point of view of it.
I can agree with that. I can definitely agree with that. But well, actually, there is no but. I do agree with that at the same time. But to keep the momentum rolling, which the women are pretty good about, not dragging out fights. Like, the women will fight each other before the guys do. And I feel like as long as they keep that consistency, women's boxing can continue to grow. Because I'm pretty sure everybody on this panel would pay. I would pay money. I'd pay a pay-per-view, a
I
reasonable
said I pay
pay-per-view
the pay-per-views
to,
for Days
to, to see
and
that.
Clarissa all day. I'll buy that pay-per-view in a heartbeat. But I feel like women boxing.
Uh-huh.
Oh, go ahead.
I think that with women boxing too, though, to be honest with y'all, and we can say this about male boxers too, about being pushed, but I think there needs to be a heavy marketing campaign behind a lot of the females, especially now that Serrano is about to be the first woman in boxing history to have a 3-minute round coming up.
Also,
That's
was the
huge.
first woman boxer to get $1 million
You
too.
took the words right out of my mouth. Yep, 3-minute rounds will change the game.
3-minute rounds is
Yes,
gonna
sir.
change the game, and we're gonna
A
be able
lot
to
more
see
people are
more
gonna get
of
knocked
them.
out. A lot of
Yep,
women
and we're
gonna
gonna
get
be
knocked out now because them 2-minute rounds be saving people. A1 Hoop Zone, Shalom and salute, King. I feel like Carissa would have had a lot more knockouts if it was 3-minute rounds instead of 2-minute rounds. Because in the middle of them rounds, like around the 2 minute mark, that's when it started to get real cooking. If you've been in the ring, you know that's when your energy start depleting, and that's when them shots start hurting a little bit more. Each time you go to the corner, you get a chance to recharge for that 1 minute. But if you sit there fighting for 3 minutes, it's a big difference than fighting for 2 minutes, and it start coming harder. You know about it, Coach Amber. You know them last 40 seconds feel like an eternity.
Yep, that clap, that clap for the last 30 seconds, that clap for the last 10 seconds. I
Yes,
train
sir.
my fighters like a swimmer. When you hear that clap, you take off.
You
Like
go
you
all
start
out.
letting your hands go. Yep, that clap will set you free.
Because the last minute in a boxing round is the most dangerous. No, the last 30 seconds in the last minute of a boxing round is the most dangerous part of any rounds of fighting. Because the last minute, you done exhausted your fighting. You done exhausted yourself for the whole 2 minutes. That last minute is right before you get a chance to recharge. And 9 times out of 10, people get knocked out in that last minute of the round than in the beginning of the round. Because as you're in there, you start to deplete. And what people don't realize is as the fight goes longer, you're losing weight. Say like if you came in the fight, like me and Rachel talked about it the other day. If you come into the ring at like 170, by the end of the fight, you'll probably be about 162 to 160. Because sparring, you can lose up to 8 to 10 pounds in a whole session of sparring. Like you use that much calories and all and water and all that when you spar. So a person's weight at the start of the fight ain't the same at the end of the fight. So as a person start to lose the his muscle mass, his water, all that, hey, it start getting dangerous. That's why it gets dangerous late in the fight. That's why a lot of people don't carry their power to the end of the fight because they're depleted.
I will say this though, the 3 minutes is gonna change the game. It really is. But like I just said about the KO Queen, she was knocking broads out in under 2 minutes. Just saying.
You talk about Serrano?
No, we were talking about Ann
No,
Wolf.
Oh,
yeah, well,
I
Ann
about to
Wolf,
say,
yep.
I
KO
would call
Queen right there.
Serrano. I call Amanda Serrano the KO Queen because she's Jay Scribb, salute King.
what's
But
that woman that Serrano just fought last?
Katie
She had her
Taylor,
all bloody. Yo,
Katie Taylor,
I'm
the one that
so
they robbed
worried
her.
about her.
You talking about the
I'm
one they
so
robbed
worried
her?
about. No, Serrano won that one, her last fight with under the
Okay,
Jake
I thought you
Paul.
talking
She was
about Taylor.
undercard.
I thought you talking about Taylor, the one where I felt like it was the one where they both got $1 million, the first females to ever get $1 million in boxing. I
She
feel
was
like
on the fight?
now she was the main event versus Katie Taylor, and she got robbed. I felt like Katie Taylor wasn't doing nothing but shoe shining while Amanda was tagging her tail. It should have been at least a draw or 7-5, but they was giving Katie Taylor rounds that she didn't deserve. Shout out Jay Scribb.
There was one fight when Jake Paul fought that UFC fighter a couple months ago.
Talk about
And
Nate Diaz.
Where she was on the
yes,
undercard.
Yeah, Jake
she was on
Paul
the
does a
undercard.
great job promoting her.
Yes, he does. But that woman that Serrano was fighting, I'm worried about her for them 3 minutes, man, because her face always be jacked up, man.
You want me to
Like,
tell you
oh my
why?
God, she was so man.
Once you
Serrano had that
become
woman bloody.
once you become a bleeder and stuff like that, you'll always be like that scar tissue and stuff. Like people that get cut easy, they all already cut all the time. They cut and they get cut, and that scar tissue it busts open real easy. Once you become, Nate Dawg said, I lost 11 pounds in one sparring session. He'll never forget it. Yeah, Nate. People don't realize if you really want to lose weight, get in the damn boxing ring. You can lose all the weight you want because you can lose 10 pounds a day. Easy. Heather Hart. Al Boogie said that was Heather Hardy, Keith.
Yes,
There we
thank you,
go. Yep.
Alberta. Thank you so much. That's her, man. She's gonna scare me when they make her do 3 minutes, man. That's scary. She be all bloody.
Yeah,
I
Nate.
mean, that girl be
Blood
bleeding.
and cuts don't hurt. It's the swelling. It's the edema. Yep, it's the edema. When your body swells, and right there, that's the part. That's why they try to use that pressure to get it up out of there. Yeah, cuts and blood really don't hurt unless the sweat getting into the cut. That stings a little bit, but the swelling, that's what really hurts. Yeah.
You're right though. Once you're a bleeder, you're always a bleeder. I was a bleeder, but only on one side of my nose, and there's like little remedies you can do for that, but it's temporary. You're basically kind of burning the inside of your pores of your nostril. You're kind
Hey,
of burning them shut, but it's temporary. It might just depending on how often you're sparring and getting hit in it. It might last a couple rounds. It might last a few weeks, but it is temporary. It will come back.
yeah, all things low blows hurt, but I'm gonna tell you what hurt worse than a low blow: a kidney or a liver shot. People may be like, "You stupid." I'd rather get hit in my Johnson and Johnson than get a straight shot into my kidney or my liver. And you probably like, Upper, how you feel that? A shot to a kidney or your liver is debilitating. I got hit in the liver or the kidney one time. Hollow fist, salute king. And I pissed blood for a week. I'm talking about a week. And right there above my waistline, I felt a sharp pain every time from a flagrant hit to my kidneys. Have you ever been hitting the kidneys at Coach Amber?
I have. It hurts very, very much, and it lingers. Like it lingers, and
It
sometimes it can
stays
linger
there.
like for days.
They just don't know, boy. That kidney shot, boy. It make you want to dag
And
on that kidney shot or a liver shot. A liver shot in the fight. And people don't realize a body shot, period, is so debilitating. Most fighters that get hit with a body shot, you can get up from getting a head shot. But some body shots, it will put you down. And even if you want to get up, you can't. Because
imagine having a Charlie horse on your inside.
exactly, it shuts your body down. It will literally shut it down. And it takes about but see the fun fact is after about 30 seconds you'll be good. But that's past the 10 count. So people say Ryan Garcia gave up. I don't think so. I think Ryan got hit to the body and then it loosened up after about 20, 30 seconds. Because that's about usually how long it takes for that to release up off of you so it can let go of his grip. So I don't really feel like Ryan quit. I felt like Ryan got hit. He couldn't do nothing about it.
Since we're kind of treading along female boxing, also Key, I know you said that you've never boxed or whatever, but you are a woman. What a lot of people don't realize in female fighters, um, getting hit in your chest, and Key, I'm sure you can attest to it. Getting hit in that right spot in your chest hurts.
Especially the middle of your chest.
Hurts.
Right there
Yes, it
in the middle, right
hurts.
above your stomach. Right above your stomach, right below your
Key,
chest.
you've never been a boxer, and you know that when you get hit in right in that sweet spot, it
Oh
hurts.
yeah, I
You
used to.
talking about right in the center. It's right in the center, Coach Amber. Right below your chest,
Yes,
right
sir.
above
It
your
will bring
stomach.
tears to your eyes.
It'll take your air.
Yes, yes. Even when I used to get into a lot of fights growing up, and yes, you can get hit one good time, and that's all she wrote, folks. Yes, that's absolutely correct.
Nate Dogg says, Nate Dogg said facts. I'd rather get hit in the balls than get hit in the liver or the kidneys. Exactly, Nate Dogg. And the balls are sensitive, but I can take a ball shot rather than a kidney or liver. If I had to choose between the three, go and hit the manhood. I'll take it. Not saying I want to take any of those, but if I had between them three, that's when I feel like I recover more quicker and would leave less damage. And
So, do
see,
you
people don't
guys?
realize boxers need. That's why if a boxer fights anybody outside the boxing ring, it's just like you fighting somebody with a gun or a knife. They will hit you with assault with a deadly weapon because boxers are honed and trained. So their bodies, you have to register your hands as weapons, lethal weapons. Once you learn how to box, you are registered as a lethal weapon.
Amber?
Did we lose him?
Yeah, I
Did we
think we
lose him?
lost him. Yes, but I'm gonna
What's
follow
going
up with
on with him
okay, there
today?
we go.
I don't know what just
There he
happened.
goes.
Yeah, but you have to register yourself as a lethal weapon. So a fighter really can't get in a fight with nobody on the street. So if a person on the street picks a fight with a boxer, and feel like a boxer put his hands on him, a boxer can go to jail for a long time for that shit. So that's one of the things about being a boxer that's not good, because they can try to get you and you go to jail for a long time just for defending yourself. Honestly, it has to be like a life or death situation for you really to get out of it.
You know what's crazy, over like that you're saying that, because I started boxing in junior high, and then by the time I got to high school, everybody knew I was a boxer. They used to call me girl fight and all this other stuff. And you would think that because I'm a boxer,
They
you would
respect
think that people would leave me alone,
they
but
mess
it
with
had
you
the
the more.
opposite effect. It
Yeah,
had
they
the,
mess
like
with you
people
the
wanted to
more.
see. Yeah,
Like
they. Oh, are you
people want
really
to see
about
what
that?
yeah, they really want to see what you about. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like, motherfucker be like, oh, you knocked him out. I don't think you do me like that. Dude, you be done just as bad. Just as bad. But I
Yes, if
feel like
anything, it puts more of a target on your back because people really want to
exactly.
see if you're about that life.
Or people want to measure themselves up because they have some kind of deficiency and they lacking. So they want to make themselves seem big up or want to be feeling like they better. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to put yourself in
Mm.
harm's way with me when I literally practice this. Look, I throw 1,000 damn jabs at the beginning of my workout with both hands. You really don't want that right there. And that's just 1,000 jabs just to get you loose. That's just to get you loose. And that's a training exercise. Like, the average person probably couldn't throw 250 straight jabs. Get tired. But that's just to get loose. But they want to test the waters. As soon as you text it, then they be like, well, why did you do him like that? Like, then they holler victim when stuff happens. And I hate that.
Well, my thing was is whenever they would pick on me and mess with me, they expected me to square up. Like there's a referee there, like there's ropes there.
Like
Heck
popcorn.
no, the first thing I'm doing is picking you up, body slamming, and I'm going to town. And they'd be
I,
like, "You're a boxer. You're not supposed to fight like that. Do you see a referee?
this ain't
Do,
boxing, it's a
do
fight.
you see an official?" Like,
Me, I just go ahead and pop off. Like, I'm not about to let you hit me first. I'm not about to play this song and dance. I'm just about to pop off and we go from there. It's whether you sink or swim is up to you. But I'm not about to play this game with you. We about to go ahead and do what
What
we
I
got to
think.
do. Go
go
ahead,
ahead,
Keith.
Keith.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say too. What I would. There was this guy I grew up with, and he was a boxer, a tremendous boxer. But what ended up happening to him, because so many people tested him, you guys are absolutely right. He used to get into fights a lot, just to see if he could really fight like that, But the man had hands. I really wish he would have went pro. But you know what ended up happening to him because of
He killed
what
somebody,
they
probably.
the the mental that they go through. He ended up having a psychotic break. He hasn't
Oh,
been
yeah.
right since. That happened when we were, I want to say I was 19 when that happened, and I'm 34 right now, and he still isn't right. He still is not all there, and I wish that the boxing community, as far as the organizations, really invested into these boxers' mental health. Like I really do. I really feel as though there needs to be an emphasis put on their mental
I
health
wholeheartedly
well-being.
agree with you.
Yeah, they do need mental health for boxing because boxing, Bruce Gas and Jazz salute, because boxing is one of the most mind altering sports. Because first you getting shot and you getting hit in the head, so that's rupturing your thinking ability. Plus, you gotta always be constant thinking. And then when you're a boxer, you got a target on your back. People always trying to try you. Like, it's rough. Boxing is the most loneliest sport out there. You can't depend on nobody else when you're in that ring but yourself. It's a test of your will and your manhood. If you can't do it, then you just drown.
Right, and the crazy thing is, he has a wonderful man. He got a wonderful wife that has stood by him through a lot, man. But it's like something happened. You know what I'm saying
It's
in that
worse on her
ring, and
too.
then yeah, it's really worse on her. And then I also would like for there to be test ran for CTE because I feel as though getting hit like that all the time, I know
Yeah,
it's damaging the brain.
we
Like
all
they're
know that.
need
Listen
they're
to
like
James Lights Out Tony. Look at James Lights Out Tony. Look at all these boxers that used to box. They're punch. They call it punch drunk. But no, that is mental scarring and mental fatigue and mental erosion from them shots. Like when you get hit and you get knocked out, that kills over 100,000 brain cells. Now just think of somebody that gets knocked out a lot. That's why you see a lot of these older boxers can barely talk. Listen to Tarver, James Toney, all them boxers, they slur. All that comes from brain damage. Like when you get knocked out, your body just ain't okay. I'm knocked out. No, you just had a traumatic. That's blunt force trauma. You just lost some damn brain cells. Like even Earl Spence speech is slowed down. Like come on now. Like boxing is a hell of a sport. That's why Floyd's so great because he didn't get hit. Floyd made sure. Hell, Ali's Parkinson. That could have been an onset from it. Taking them shots to the head. That didn't do Ali good.
Earl Spence, that has more to do with his teeth. Earl Spence always talked like that, but I think he's still adjusting to his new teeth. He got a whole new grill.
No,
he got his permanent ones. Here recently.
After that Ferrari shot, after he came out that Ferrari, he was a little slurred as well though, because he hit his head. Like shots like that, it does affect you.
Do you know that? What was it? What's the date today? I think it was yesterday. Was the 4-year anniversary when he rode his Ferrari?
Yeah,
I think it was yesterday, dude. My mom called me. I was at work. My mom called me at 7 a.m. and was like, "Mija, I just seen Earl Spence on the news. Are you okay?" She's asking me if I'm okay. I was not. I was not because I had already seen it. I was like, because but at that point they didn't know his condition. I was like, oh my god, and he was still high off of that Porter fight.
Yeah, I was calling all my people down in Texas, like, man, is the kid all right? Because Earl's my guy. I was like, is the kid all right? Like, boy, I had a bad couple of weeks until they said he all right, and I was just like, damn, this man's greatness has got extinguished so fast. But then he showed me another level of greatness. That's why people ask, why does Earl Spence have the fans that he have? Because Earl Spence is the freaking truth. I don't want to say the word. He's the freaking truth. This man was thrown out of Ferrari at high speeds, hit the pavement. The man heals himself back. He in a wheelchair, boxing, striving to come back to boxing when they say he shouldn't box no more. The man brings himself from the brink, learning how to walk again, punch again, throw again, move again, weave again, comes back. Now listen to what I'm saying. The man comes back and fights a legendary fighter like Danny Garcia. Danny Swift Garcia. People can say what you want. Danny Garcia is a world-class fighter. Everybody would love to have Danny Garcia's name on their resume because Danny Garcia has a name. You can say what you want. Danny Garcia is a Hall of Famer. 2-time champion. Yes, he's a Hall of Famer, period. Earl came out the damn coma, the accident, everything. Fought world-class Danny Garcia. Outboxed him in every turn of the way. Took vicious shots to the head twice outside of the bell. Danny hit him twice when the bell wasn't there. He got in 2 cheap shots. Earl wiped his chin off. And Danny was arguably the hardest puncher at welterweight at 975 PSI. He caught Earl Spence clean twice. That same no hook that sent Amir Khan to the shadow realm. That same no hook left that was hurting everybody at 140. He caught Earl Spence clean, and Earl wiped his chin off and said, "Is that it?" Earl boxed his way back from an injury, not been in there for over 18 months. Then after he wins that fight, he sets up his biggest payday with Manny Pacquiao. The man has an eye problem. They said, "You can't fight, Earl." Earl said, "No, this is my biggest payday." They say, "Look, you might lose your eye." The man said, "I got 2 eyes. I'll be good with one." So they didn't let him fight, so he had to get retinal surgery. So he missed his biggest payday. Yordenis Ugas got that bank. So then Earl, after the retina surgery, come back and beats the guy that took his payday, Yordenis Ugas. And people ask, why do we work with Earl? Because anytime you put something in front of Earl, Earl strives. He meets, conquers, and overcomes anything you put in his way. Bud drained him out for an extra 1.5 years, didn't take the fight. Then Bud gets in there. Earl that had just almost had a stroke 3 days later gets utterly destroyed in that ring, outmatched, outclassed, everything. But Earl's working. And this is why we like Earl, because he's the truth. Now, Earl's going to come back. And like I said, Earl overcomes every time he comes back. And I feel like that's why Terrence don't want to get back in that ring with that man, because he knows it's not the same Earl you fought. Now you fighting Earl 2.0 with something on his back with nothing to lose. And I feel like he's going to take his pound of flesh. And when Earl beats Terrence, it's not going to be like when Terrence beat Earl. Earl takes years off your boxing career. Earl takes years off your boxing career. And when he gets in there with Bud Crawford and he starts laying that lumber on Bud, hey, it's really going to be his curtain call. So that's why I think Bud is really avoiding, because he knows he had a lesser version of Earl Spence. And we as fans know that was a lesser version of Earl Spence. And then you got the Crawford fans running around here talking about, oh, he did this to Earl. But if they was true boxing fans and not a bunch of sack chasers and fanboys, and they would admit that wasn't the real Earl Spence. And if my fighter would have won against somebody like that, I would say, look, man, the dude didn't look good. I got to see him at 100%. That's called being a true fan of the sport. If you take a slick win, that's like a person sucker punching somebody and beating them and you bragging about that win. I don't respect that. You didn't square up and give that man a chance. The true definition of dominating somebody is you giving them a fair shot and you utterly destroy them and there's nothing they can do about it. That's why I didn't steal people. I used to want a person to know in your heart, your mind, your spirit, and soul that it's nothing you can do with me. And that's the worst thing for a boxer, is for somebody to completely outclass, outlast, and outblast their ass. And that's what Earl's going to do when he gets back in there with Bud, and people don't understand. Look, you're not going against this rejected version you had before. You got me at my worst. Now you're about to see me at my best. And I'm going to tell you like this. I want to see what Devin looked like against Regis Prograis, because I don't care what nobody say. The way he hit that bag and everything, it's something in that snack. I'm going to tell you like this. Earl got to get him a little snack, or so he got to get him some better nutrition or something, because snack
Earl don't even take aspirin.
I know. But he better do something, because snack got them people looking broad.
How did we lose him again?
I have no idea. But he does have a point about Devin. He is, and to be honest with you, to be fair, until he comes back, I don't think that this loss was the worst. That I think Earl is probably more upset about losing the belts than anything. I think that car accident trumps this loss in the ring, but I do feel as though he is going to come back. So I do think that he's going
I don't know what's going on with this damn
StreamYard shit, man. This StreamYard acting crazy as hell.
It's only kicking out you. It's not us.
Yeah. I don't know, man. And I got the updated version of this shit. Hell yeah, D1. I keep getting knocked out my own stream. Like, damn. What did I say? Like, yeah. That's crazy.
Look,
like y'all can.
Because I mean, obviously, because he's from my city. We ran through same circles, same, we share same alumni and trainers. But I believe it was after that same fight, the Ugas fight, that man got up there on that podium and he said the first thing out of his mouth was, "I would like to thank the fans for spending their hard-earned money."
And that's why I will keep spending my money with that.
Buy the pay-per-view. Like that is why I will forever be a fan. I don't care what his record ends up being, because he appreciates me as a fan. Now, when you tell me that other fans are better than me, or you start calling fans names, I can't rock with it.
Exactly. Or when you sit there and tell me that we dumbasses and you lied to me and you talk about, like, Crawford disrespected his fans like hell when they sit there and said Crawford. I thought you said that Earl. I never said Earl Duck. These people stupid out here. I never said. Remember he said that? I was like, damn. He called his fans stupid. I was like, yep. Glad I'm not a fan. Salute the Dean and salute the Devrian K. Welcome to the family, y'all. Got my guy Deem hit, right? I mean, got Deem on this thing, But yeah, Earl is the truth for a reason. Plus, he respects people and he respects the money that we put out there. And Earl, he gives you what you ask for. We ask for the fights, Earl give it to us. Earl know he can't make the weight, but he made us a promise that he will give us that fight. So guess what he do? He go out there and kill himself to make weight just to give us what we asked for. And then these fans sit there and talk shit to the man that did it. Like, Earl could have fought Keith Thurman. It would have probably been a bigger bag. People sit there and say Bud and Earl was big. I think Earl versus Thurman would have been more than Bud and Earl. Earl versus Keith Thurman had a bigger backstory. Earl versus Thurman was the fight since 2015. And people talk about Bud been calling out Earl for years. No, the fuck he hasn't. When Bud first got the welterweight, he wanted Pacquiao and Thurman. That's exactly what he said when he got the welterweight. He said, I want my Manny Pacquiao fight, and Thurman's the man at 147, so I got to see him. He didn't start calling Earl out to after Mikey and Sean. When he seen the type of bread that Earl was bringing in, he contacted Black Fight Fan and said, look, can you push Earl versus Crawford? That's what happened. They see Crawford and them seen them get the bag. They got jealous, as they normally are, because they some jealous individuals over there. They jealous and they envious-hearted over there. And they seen Earl getting that 8-figure payday. What? A 8-figure payday. And they was just thinking about that bullshit upfront guarantee that they was getting $3 million.
Upper, correct me if I'm wrong, but when Bud fought Amir Khan, didn't he get somewhere around like 7 mil?
6 million.
6.
Amir Khan got 7.
Okay, Amir Khan got 7 mil, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. But when Keith Thurman asked for 10 off the top, he priced himself out. They didn't negotiate it. They didn't try to meet somewhere in the middle. So Amir Khan versus Keith Thurman, who only had one loss against Manny Pacquiao, but he
never lost then. Oh, you talking about after he lost to Pacquiao?
I believe.
But this is a Keith Thurman who just did over. Listen,
Thurman was asking to fight Bud. That was after.
Right? After his loss. But look, Coach Amber, this is Keith Thurman that just did over $500K on pay-per-view with Manny Pacquiao. And this is why I say Earl versus Keith would have did better than Bud and Earl. Listen, Eudanis Ugas and Manny Pacquiao did 248,000, right? They did 248,000, Ugas and Pacquiao. Earl and Ugas did 3. So Earl versus Ugas did more than Manny Pacquiao and Ugas. So that means tell me Earl is bringing in more numbers than Pacquiao right now.
Yeah, because nobody out here knew Ugas.
They know Ugas anyway, but check this out. So Manny Pacquiao and Keith Thurman did 520,000 pay-per-view. With the logic of Earl doing more than Pacquiao, Earl versus Thurman would have did every bit of 700 or 800. And that's what's crazy because check this out. Earl and Keith Thurman was the fight to make. Floyd Mayweather built that fight back in 2014, 2015. He even offered Keith Thurman his belt to fight Earl and said the winner, if Keith wins against Earl, he can fight him. Keith said, nah, you trying to put me in a trick bag. So then Keith even told him, you go get a belt and I'll fight you. He beat Special K. He kept pushing Earl around the swing. But Keith Thurman, with that talk and Earl Spence, that fight would have did at least 700,000 to 800,000, no matter how many belts was on the line. So yeah, Keith Thurman, you did drop the ball because that could have been a fight for 3 belts. And I feel like Keith Thurman versus Earl Spence for 3 belts would have did more than Bud and Earl for 4.
But you know what's so crazy about that is that to this day there's people that say that Floyd ducked Thurman.
And see, people don't realize Floyd didn't fight Thurman because who the fuck was Thurman? Just like Floyd didn't fight Canelo Alvarez when Canelo was 41-0. What Floyd tell him? He said, look, win another belt, and then it'll make it. Like Floyd tried to tell him to build himself up. So when you get on this thing with me, we have no problem doing 1 million pay-per-view buys. So if Keith Thurman would have just fought Floyd Mayweather, he probably would have did about $1 million or probably 800,000 because really people really didn't know Keith Thurman like that, right? They seen him with a couple good fights. But if Keith Thurman would have took out Earl Spence, did fought Floyd, you know, Floyd about that bread. Floyd would have beat the shit out of Keith Thurman. You see Keith lost to the old Pacquiao. Thurman would have touched Floyd. But this is what I'm getting at. Floyd, if he gonna fight you, trying to build it. So you had a chance to fight Earl and then come for the GOAT. Why not try Keith? But Keith knew then. Earl would have busted his ass. Nate Dogg, like I said, I feel like he would have did better with Thurman because Thurman would talk that thing. Thurman would talk that talk. He'd have Earl up there mad. And Earl would be cussing his ass out. That shit would have been lit. It would have been lit at the press conference between Thurman and Earl.
And Keith Thurman, like personally.
Yes, he hates Keith Thurman.
Being in the same room as him, he gets under my skin.
Exactly. So Keith Thurman and Earl, that thing would have been lit. And Keith, Keith can talk that shit. And you can say what you want to, because Keith was one of the best pure boxers out there, power in both hands. And for the first 6 rounds of a fight, Keith Thurman is one of the most dangerous fighters ever. But after that first 6 rounds, he can't carry it past 6 rounds. That's why he tried to hurry up and get his first. He tried to get 6 rounds in the bank early and then try to get another round. Keith Thurman tried to go to the cards late.
To go about a game plan. I'm sorry. Like I was like, for real, you break it into 4 quarters, which I get, but like after you're done, like that is horrible. Like, what if you suffer a knockdown? Like that throws a wrench in your whole monkey. Like that throws a monkey wrench in your whole engine. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah, Nate Dogg. AB versus Rolly would be fire, but I'm gonna tell you, Rolly versus Ryan, that's a big seller right there. Rolly versus Ryan Garcia. No, AB versus Ryan Garcia. That's a big money fight for both of them. Adrian Broner, you can say what you want, but he still brings in the fans. You put Adrian Broner in there with somebody big, that'd be a hell of a fight. But yeah, AB and Rolly would sell a lot too. Both of them talk shit.
Adrian,
but yeah, Coach Amber, you're right. If you get knocked down, that means you got to gain 2 more rounds.
There's a rumor following. I'm going around saying that they think that the exhibition with Floyd will be with Adrian Broner. I don't know how true that is because if I'm not mistaken, AB is fighting next month. I think he's fighting somebody next month.
I know AB was trying to push that, but Floyd didn't want to do it. But could you imagine Floyd versus AB in the exhibition? That thing right there would do about 3-4 million buys.
But I would buy that just because it's Floyd and Broner.
Hey, look, that thing right there would do over 3 million buys. And even AB said it. Because if Adrian get in that ring with Floyd, he gonna try to put it on Floyd. And Floyd, he knows Adrian, so he gonna dust him up. That shit gonna turn into a brawl out there. And Adrian probably might get busted up badly. Because Adrian always wants to prove that
everybody gonna hop in the ring and all that stuff.
Oh nah. They found that out when Floyd fought against that Gotti. They found out that Floyd has them goons. That Gotti family, John Gotti's family, Floyd beat the grandson up, and then they tried to rush Floyd and all this. Yeah, they tried to rush Floyd and everything because they got their ass whooped. And when they rushed up there, they wish they didn't. Because Floyd had about 200 damn goons up there, big guys, linebackers. They were beating them boys and tossing them out the damn way. They started calling us all type of ends and everything, boy.
I will never forget when it was such chaos there that the women got the fight.
Shout out to my guy Muhammad with the $5 super chat. Nothing runs me harder to hear one of these clowns saying blood cleared out the division of 147. That is a bold-faced lie. All Bud did was sit around and wait for the carnage to clear and fought the injured man coming out after he done went through war after war. He picked that man off after the man finished fighting all these battles.
Somebody was saying that, and I was putting that in the chat in all caps. Yeah, he did not clear out the division. He didn't fight Ugas, didn't fight Thurman, didn't fight Danny. He pulled out Special K out of retirement. He pulled out Porter basically out of retirement. Porter said himself he was ready to retire until he got that call. And
Yeah,
then
Porter basically lost the Familiar fight before Bud. After Porter lost to Earl, his next fight against Familiar, Porter looked terrible. Like Porter looked like he could barely stand in that ring. Like Porter was done after that fight. And that's when Bud was like, you know something, Porter, I'll fight you. Like he see how bad Porter looked. He told him, I'll fight you, Sean.
I
And
think
Sean,
that
and Sean, that was gonna be his second big payday because Sean Porter never received $1 million until he fought Earl Spence. And see, that's the funny thing, because all these people avoided Earl Spence all these years. But like he said, it will all come back around. And guess what?
Upper Stringer does not like you today, sir.
Nah, that was people calling. Just do salute. Hey, y'all speak for a second. Let me see what my mom needs. Go ahead, Kia. Amber.
Okay. What I also, just to piggyback off of that too with Porter, I found it very interesting that Porter, after the fight, had so much to say about Spence. I really think that Porter, and I like Porter. This is no shot at him. I do watch the Porter Way podcast sometimes when I'm able to catch it. But I like what he's doing, and he's a stand-up dude. But I do feel as though he feels a certain type of way at the fact that his father is really close with Earl. I really think that, because he does have a good relationship. Well, I don't know how it is now, but I know back then, Porter's dad liked Earl. Did you know about that, Amber?
I can give you a little history behind that.
You said what?
I said I can give you a little history behind that. Like,
Talk to me about that. What is the tea, girl? What is the tea?
Because Kenny Porter, he was on the coaching staff at Colorado Springs. And there's a long process to become an Olympian. You have to, first of all, you have to win nationals. You go through the Olympic trials, and even that doesn't guarantee you a spot. You have to go through the World Games. You have to accumulate enough points to qualify. And even when you accumulate enough points to qualify, I mean, boxing is boxing. There is favoritism, whatever. But Earl was, selected to go around the world. And, Kenny Porter took him all around the world to compete everywhere, like duels, world games, all that stuff. And, his son, Sean, didn't make it. And I see where Sean's coming from. That's got to be like, damn, that's got to be demoralizing,
Y'all know it's funny, right? On my phone all day, and everybody know how to call me between 2 and 4. But today, everybody want to call my phone between 2 and 4. Like, what in the hell? Sorry about that, y'all good people, but dang.
That's okay. So, Coach Amber, you're saying high school upper. So
as a podcaster, I can only take them in micro doses because of like how you said the animosity. But I feel like Sean should be the thing because literally, I mean, maybe not the accolades, but he's kind of this era's Oscar De La Hoya. Like he fought everybody, win, lose, draw. He fought.
Porter. Oh yeah, Porter's a Hall of Famer. Just like he has the best resume.
But he fought everybody.
Yeah, Sean Porter fought everybody. He fought Kell Brook. He fought everybody. Even though he lost the 5 big fight, I felt like he lost against Ugas too. But he beat Ugas and Danny Garcia. He lost to Thurman. He lost to Bud. He lost to Kell Brook. He lost to Spence. He beat Broner. He beat Devin Alexander. So he fought everybody. If you had a fight, if you was a fighter, and he said Adrian Broner was the person that hit him the hardest when Adrian dropped him. And that's what people don't realize. Adrian had some pop if he would let his hands go. But I feel like that Maidana fight, it took away, like, that man, he showed he had heart, but he never let his hands go after that fight right there. But Oh no.
Coach Amber. So, do you think that's where it started from with the father, with Kenny Porter taking Earl everywhere like that, and that's where the animosity grew between Spence and Porter?
I did a whole video on this. That's why I tell you ain't watched my video, Key Alexander. Listen, I broke
I
this
didn't
whole.
watch that part.
It's called "Why They Hate."
I know how I would feel. Like I don't know how Porter, like I can't speak for him, but I know that like before boxing, I played softball, and that's honestly probably where I got my power from. And I know that if my daddy was a coach and he's trained me since I was a little girl, and then he starts training this other little girl, and that little girl is better than me, and then he starts taking her all around the world, and I'm not at the same level as she is, I would feel some type of way. I
Hey,
know I
hey, Key, let me tell you about it, though. Listen, Earl Spence, Sean Porter's dad, Kenny, started training Spence for the Olympics. He even brought Sean Porter in to spar against Earl, and Earl was giving it to him then, right? And that then after that, okay, and then after that, Earl, after he came back from the Olympics, was able to outclass Sean. And so Kenny Porter seen Earl's greatness, and he used to talk about it all the time. And that's why Derrick James got kind of upset. Talking about, you ain't trained him. I trained him. But and he used to always compare Sean to Earl, Sean to Earl. So Sean seen that, and he knew that he didn't have the physical attributes that Earl had, like the power and all that. But Sean was a great football player, but he was short. And Sean was fighting at like 155 150, like 154 at the time. Because he also beat Alexander Usyk in the amateurs. But then, like Kenny Porter used to always have a high praise for Earl. He forgot about Sean. And I'm gonna tell you like this, that'll make a kid jealous right there. When you trying your hardest and your dad praising another kid and you doing the exact same thing, that right there, it cuts deep. And Sean and his dad, they still was cool with Earl until after Earl got that first big payday. And after Earl went and beat Kell Brook. And I see that's when the hate started. When Sean Porter was talking about Earl down 4-2 and all that right there, like that's when it started showing his ugly head. Then when Earl said,
to support him.
huh?
Didn't Kenny go to England to support him when he fought Brook?
Yeah, Kenny did, but he brought Sean with him. And if you watch that Earl Spence versus Kell Brook fight, they stopped and talked to Sean in the middle of the fight. And Sean said he felt like Spence was down 4-2. And Earl went ahead and finished off Kell Brook, something that Sean Porter wasn't able to do. So he ended up getting Sean Porter's belt. And Earl said he'd give Sean a shot. Sean didn't really want it, but then they see Earl get that pay-per-view money versus Mikey. But Sean has always been jealous, and you can expect that if your father is giving another kid your attention, that's any child. Any child will be upset. Like when my kids see me trying to help other kids, my son will act out. And that's just a kid. I mean, a kid wants his father attention, especially guys, because I'm a guy. I used to try to do everything to please my dad, even though my dad was bad. I still wanted my dad's approval because that's my dad. Like they say, a woman can raise a man, but a woman can't raise a man. Can't teach a man to be a man. And so kids need that fatherly influence, and they need the approval from their father. And when the father's giving the approval to another kid, that's just gonna make any kid jealous. And that's what happened with Sean Porter. And I mean, like I said, I don't blame him. I blame Kenny Porter. I blame Kenny. That's who I blame, because Kenny should have been more in tune to his child and his kid's feelings instead of harping off the next man's glory. If Earl's so great, get your child in there, because we seen what Sean can do when he has a lot of training and preparation. Because that 6 months of preparation for the Earl Spence fight, Sean was the best I've ever seen him. That man had a 6-month training camp with 6 different coaches. And he came in there, turned all the way up. Even though Earl didn't have strength and conditioning, he still was there.
Well,
and that's why Sean fought that way. You say what?
That's because Kenny Porter knew what his son was going to be up against.
Yeah, and plus Sean, that was a combination of Sean's life. if I beat Earl, then I gain all my dad's love, trust, and respect. Like I get a chance to end this Earl miss in my father's name. That right there is every kid's biggest, and I know all the men in this room feel me. This man has been put up on a pedestal by your dad your whole life, and now you battling him. This is the biggest fight of your career. No other fight was worth more than this fight right here to Sean Porter. And that's why Sean Porter went balls deep into that fight. He went ass in, all out, pause. And he went as hard as he could go. And when he fell into the 11th round, you could see the frustration and the hurt on his face because he knew he was a round and a half away from going 12 and showing his father, like, look, I can stand toe-to-toe with this guy too. And I mean, I applaud him, but hey, when pressure bust fight,
real quick before, oh hell, we lost Key.
What happened to Key?
She just dropped off. At least she did on my screen.
Yep, she'll be back. I told you, StreamYard been acting crazy.
In the last fight, when Earl, when he lost his mouthpiece and was worried about being gummy and being a meme.
Yeah,
I was watching the fight, but I was also watching the Porterweight podcast live commentary.
Oh wow.
Did you see how quick Sean Porter jumped up? He literally dropped his earphones and was shaking. And then finally, when he got his facilities, he was like, I wasn't excited. I was concerned.
No, I seen that shit. Sean was happy as
you seen that shit? Where he was like, like he
before the fight, Amber, they asked Sean who was the best people he been in the ring with, right? His number one was Keith Thurman. Bud was his number 2. Ugas was his number 3. He didn't even have Earl as the top 5. He had Ugas over Earl. And then he put Kell Brook, then Earl. For the hardest 5 fights.
Well, on the recap, on his Porterweight podcast, the recap, he said that he had Earl down like the first 3 or 4 rounds. And I was like, what?
He always do that. Like against Kell Brook, he had Earl down 4-2.
Yeah, he's a little jaded.
I'm gonna get out of here because I gotta get to shaking and moving. I will be in the chat. I will be listening. Thank you so much for always providing a table for us to chop it up and cook at.
Any day, Amber, any day, you always welcome. Let me drop that link for anybody else. I'm sorry. I don't know.
I'm always glad you up here, as another woman holding it down for female boxing.
Bye, Queen.
Yeah, Sean Porter's always been a hater. Him and Earl even had a talk. And Sean, I'm gonna stop hating on you so much. Y'all don't remember that? When Sean was like, he told Earl, he was like, I'm gonna try to stop hating on you so much. When him and Earl was joking. You said what?
I just think, can you hear me?
I can hear you great. Anybody else want to hop up here with me and Key? Y'all welcome to hop up here with me and Key. We got a few minutes left before my man Just Do gets to get blazing. So y'all can hop up here. It's an open forum with me and Key Alexandria. Come on.
I just think that it's real interesting how everything transpired, and after the fight, you pretty much see who was really down for you and who wasn't. Hell, I think Ugas is the one that has shown Earl the most love. That's why I can never hate Ugas, because
I rock with Ugas
right there. I do too. I
and
really
something.
Do, like,
and I appreciate what Earl did for Ugas too, though, because Ugas has been bad in fighting. His first big payday was against Manny Pacquiao, right? And I think Ugas only got like $2 million out that fight. And at least versus Earl Spence, Ugas, he has generational wealth with that fight with him and Earl Spence. You feel what I'm saying? Earl Spence made it where Ugas can take care of his family. He don't need boxing. Like I told you, only 98% boxers never get $1 million for a fight. Ugas versus Earl, they both had $1 million guarantee, and then they both got a nice chunk of change. They did 300,000 pay-per-view buys, and 300,000 pay-per-view buys, that was 24 million plus the gate. And I think they said Ugas walked away with about a clean 10. So Ugas Earl Spence was making the paydays for anybody that fought him. Danny Garcia, Mikey Garcia, Yordenis Ugas, even Bud. Earl made sure if you fought him, you got generational wealth. Like you could retire off what you fought with Earl. Like the money Ugas made was double what he made in his whole career. Like the money he made with Pacquiao was more than he made in his whole career added up. But that extra 2 million was still double with Earl.
And
So
you know
that's
what?
why.
That's what was you saying, Upper? I'm sorry.
Now you said that's why something.
Oh, I said that's why. If you listen to the Rise podcast, shout out to those kings over there. Bob Santos was on the other day, and he was saying how Tank, the money that Tank did, that Ryan and Tank did together, was pretty much how all these fights are being made. Like that's what he said, and how after that fight, Barrios was paid. He said they made the joke that they rolled up to the fight that they just had with with Ugas, and they was hopping out of Bentley. So that
Yeah,
is true about these fighters providing them with money, and that's one thing I've never heard of. Spence being janky with their money, Tank, the big dudes, even Canelo. I've never heard of anyone complaining about money issues with Canelo either. You know what I'm
Ugas
saying?
because Ugas
Mhm.
would have never made that type of money unless he fought Earl Spence, right? And if Earl Spence would never
Right.
had that eye injury, then Ugas would have never got that shot for Pacquiao or Spence because if Spence would have fought Pacquiao, he would have got the belt, and then it would have been on the Bud. But just because Spence got that eye injury, Ugas was able to step it up and take that belt, and then he was able to put himself in position. And see, that's why I felt like Ugas was gonna beat Pacquiao that night anyway, because I said Ugas is a big guy. If you look, Ugas is bigger than Earl. And I said, Ugas ain't gonna let Manny Pacquiao come in there because he got that Cuban school of boxing. If you ever watch Pacquiao fights, Pacquiao always has problem with a boxer that can really box. Like Eric Morales, all them that can box, they give Pacquiao problems. So I felt like Ugas knew what he had to do. He went out there, he secured the bag for him and his lovely wife. And now, really, Al Heyman teaches them to invest their money as well. And then Ugas just got another fight. Like he got that fight with Barrios. Like he probably didn't get paid that big. He probably got just about a bill for that fight because it was Canelo. I feel like all them fighters got at least a bill on that Canelo card because Canelo didn't get so much. Charlo got so much. It was so much extra, and so I felt like the undercard got paid really well. And see, that's what I like when undercards get paid well, so we can get good fights on there. And like I feel like if you have a big fight on pay-per-view, you know we supposed to be able to get these good fights out there. Like, why should the stars take all the money? Pay the people that's on here on stage that's helping to make your show happen. Because the entrees is look, the side orders is just as good as the main course. A steak is a wonderful thing. But if you ain't got the macaroni and cheese or that scallop potatoes or something to go with the steak, what's a steak? You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
what's
that's
a
true.
daggone steak without the sides to go with it? Like, come on now. You want the full meal. And when you got a great undercard, that's a full meal. And you're satisfied. You got some oohs, some ahs, a little bit of action, a little excitement.
I think that
And you say what?
I think that Tank and Ryan had the weakest undercard so far.
I
that
don't
that
think
that
taking around.
undercard
I
that did
don't
not
think that
impress me,
undercard was that
Upper.
weak. They had Elijah Garcia on that card. Who else? They had a pretty good card. What do you mean? Who all was on
I wasn't
taking
a
Ryan?
fan.
Who all was on taking Ryan's undercard?
I'm gonna pull it up for you.
Yeah, pull it up
Um,
for us. Because I felt like Tank on both Garcias had great undercards on both of them Garcia fights.
you had David Morrell versus Falco. Remember that one?
Yeah, Dave Morrell. It was supposed to be a good fight, but Dave Morrell took him out. And
Yes.
everybody loved that. Everybody loves to see a good knockout.
I know, but I wanted to see more. But I'm a
I mean, it
fan,
was
you know,
supposed to
because
be more, but
I'm ready. Uh-huh.
I said we should have got more, but David Morrell is advancing at a level that we're not used to. Like the man's getting him up out of there. And if you remember that Falcon fight, David Morrell put some heat on that boy. I mean, David Morrell was attacking him like a possessed man.
Yeah, he was. And that's why I said it yesterday, I'm gonna say it again today. Y'all better whatever fighter is bold enough to step up to the challenge, y'all better hurry up and get Morrell up out of there before it's too late. Because ain't
It's
nobody
just
gonna
like
be able to
Morrell
touch
and
that man.
Boots. Morrell,
Yeah,
Morrell,
Boots is
Boots
too
and
done.
Tank.
It's over with. Nope, it's over with for Boots. I really feel as though it's over with for Tank too. Like y'all let him get too settled in.
And see, that's what I
I
said.
don't see people beating him.
Roy Jones and Floyd Mayweather and Earl Spence were my favorite fighters, right? Now,
Mm-hmm.
now Roy Jones, Floyd, and Earl always be my favorite, right? But now I got David Morrell, Ryan Garcia. Nonito was always one of my favorites as well. But David Morrell, Ryan Garcia, William Foster III. That's the one that beat Edwin De Los Santos. He dropped down to 130 now. But him, I rocks with Shakur. I don't like his out the field, out the ring antics, but I like Shakur. Tank's my guy. Wilder's my guy. I ain't really sold on AJ. I like the Charlos, but I'm just telling you, my guys though is Morrell, Tank. Oh yeah, Elijah Garcia versus Kevin Saudalo was good.
Yeah, that was decent. That's what I just typed in the chat.
I've been covering all of Elijah Garcia fights. I told people him a while ago when he first started.
Yeah, that was a decent fight. That was pretty good. I hope that the Andrade and is it Andre? I've always said Andrade, but I think it's Andre. But Boo Boo.
Demetrius Andre.
I hope. Okay, well, Andre, I hope that him and Benavidez undercard is decent. I haven't looked it up yet to see who's all on there, but they just started. It's going to be November 25th. Y'all, we gotta show up and show out. Now, if this
Yeah,
goes the way that
Deborah Wilder is that guy.
Just the announcement of this fight, I would rank this as the third best fight of 2023.
Which one?
No, maybe two. Let me see. Andre versus Benavidez. I think this is going to be the third best fight of 2023.
Oh yeah, and really, David Benavidez has been giving us tough fights this year. This is gonna be his second world-class fighter. Caleb Plant was no slouch. He was sweet hands. And then Demetrius Andrade is a killer that's undefeated, who's a nightmare that a lot of people didn't want to fight. So if he wins this fight, I got to put some respect on his name.
See,
but
would you say?
He had a choice: Boo Boo or Morrell, and he picked Boo Boo.
Yeah, that is true.
Hell yeah, Nate Dogg.
Because the money would have been there. Okay.
Yep, yeah, Nate Dogg. He missed to put him in the dirt. Caleb Plant. Yeah, you gotta like Caleb. Sweet hands Plant. The man's a boxer. You say what, Keith?
It could have been because he saw that there wouldn't maybe it wouldn't have been enough money there for David Morrell. Because I don't want to say that Benavidez is a duck. You know what I'm saying? Like that's.
No, I ain't saying he's ducks, but I'm gonna tell you
words.
like this. He said if he don't get the Canelo fight, then it's him versus Morrell. And then after Morrell took old boy out, he was like, I'm gonna take Boo Boo. Because you remember Morrell fought before he picked Boo Boo, and he destroyed that last guy. And Benavidez thought about it. Like, whoa. I don't want to mess up my Canelo payday. See, and that's good too, because I feel like Benavidez, he's worked hard and he deserves a Canelo payday. I still feel like Canelo stops Benavidez, but I would be glad because Benavidez has done a lot for his brother. And plus, I would like Benavidez to get the Canelo payday. That way, it gives Jamal Charlo a chance to get ready to fight Canelo. Because if Benavidez loses, then Jamal Charlo has to fight Canelo in May. And Demetrius Andrade gets that David Morrell action. But if Benavidez wins, Andrade still gets that David Morrell action. And Jamal Charlo gets a chance to go against Caleb Plant to get situated at 168. Plus, he can get his smack back, damn it. Because Jamal can't tell me nothing until he get his face back from that smack heard around the world. Until he get his face back from that smack, I don't want to see nothing else except for this Jose Benavidez first fight back. Then you need to holler at Caleb.
Well, we'll definitely see. I'm just praying. You know what? For Jamal, when it comes to Jamal, I'm saying one step at a time. Let's see how he looks in this fight. I know a lot of people are laughing at him because he's on the undercard, but
oh nah, they know it's a step back fight. Mrs. Just Do, peace and blessings. I don't think. Let me check, make sure Mrs. Just Do straight. Hold up, that's my homie's wife right there.
Yeah, I think that by him being on the undercard is making he's
No,
getting a side eye from a lot of people.
Oh yeah, but I'm gonna tell you like this. Hey, this is his first fight back right here. And Flossie, ordinarily, I would say that you're right, but David Morrell is the WBA mandatory for Canelo as well. So if Benavidez beats David Morrell, he'll be WBA and WBC mandatory for Canelo. So they both mandatory to fight Canelo. So either way, if Benavidez beats Andrade, he gets Canelo next. If he loses, yeah, I had to give you that K, Mrs. Do. Couldn't have you out here without that tool. It's crazy people out here.
That is crazy. Yeah, that I mean, shoot, it wouldn't even matter if he was mandated or not. Canelo fights who he wants to fight at this point.
Hey, Flossie, he's the WBA mandatory. He's the WBA regular champ, but he's also Canelo's mandatory. He's been put in to fight Canelo for the last year and a half. Canelo has to fight Morrell. He has to fight Benavidez. He took care of his IBF mandatory, and I don't know who the WBO mandatory is, but I know Morrell's at the end of the line though.
Man, we definitely gonna see. In my mind, they let Canelo do whatever, so all that stuff don't even mean nothing to me. He can have mandates all over the place.
Oh yeah. Well, y'all know it's 4:00. Y'all know what time it is. It's for my guy Just Do. So y'all make sure y'all smash the like button on the way out the door. My co-host Key about to give our exit speech. Then y'all make sure y'all join me on my guy Just Do station. Peace and blessings to y'all. Key, close the door for us.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. It was a great deal, especially about women boxing. Y'all continue to support women boxing. Shout out to everybody in the building. All things as always. My boy D1, Mrs. Just Do. Flossie Sports TV, shout out to you. Oh, you did a really good job yesterday too, Flossie Sports. Like, I really enjoyed listening to your intake. Really, like you are really, really thorough with yours.
Yeah, Flossie, I like him.
Yeah, I like him. Deveron K, shout out to you, King.
Well, I like everybody on the channel. Everybody on the channel does great. You know, we got a great chat here. You know.
Yeah, we do. Al Bookham, Aaron Muhammad. I'm surprised Jay Nori didn't come by since we were saying some things about Spence. You know, normally when you say butt name 3 times, Jay Nori come through.
Like the candy man.
Exactly. Edgar Chavez, Just Do, shout out to that king. Let me see who else is in the chat. I said Aaron Muhammad, Dean, welcome. Did you wrench up Dean?
Yeah, I wrenched Dean up.
Okay, cool. Because he's cool too. And
I know Dean. I know Dean. Yeah. I make sure I wrench up all the people.
Okay, cool.
Except for after we hit 4,000. After we hit 4,000, I ain't wrenching up no more.
I feel you with that. So thank you. Oh, Mrs. Just Do. I'm sorry. I thought I said you. I'm sorry, Queen. Shout out
That's
to
the
you,
queen right there.
Queen. Yeah, I thought I said Mrs. Just Do. My fault. I'm sorry, Queen.
Now
Shout
you
out
said
to you.
Mr. Just Do.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Sorry. Shout out to you, Queen, and the baby, and the beautiful baby that y'all had. Thank you guys for coming through. I pray that you guys stay blessed and fabulous, healthy. God bless your families. Upper, thank you again for having me on. Coach Amber, shout out to that queen. Definitely give her flowers. I didn't know she helped break down the doors, the barriers to women boxing. So every time y'all see Coach Amber, definitely say thank you, Coach, because it's women like her that continues to keep us in the game. You feel me? So definitely shout out to that queen. Thank you, Upper. God bless you and your family. I hope you continue to get better. And we'll see you guys later. Bye.
And then one more thing, everybody that's in here right now, make sure y'all subscribe to Key Alexandria. You know she getting her boxing talk going, and we need all y'all to subscribe. And y'all know how we end this. And there's her link in the building.
Hey, ba ba ba. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. Raw Molly got me all up in demon mode. Mouth moving like I done put clean in my nose. Trying to catch me up, I can leave with some hoes. He standing straight up, watch I make him lean with this pole. Would've thought he was closed, how that heat made him fold. Thought it was a game, he won't think no more. His brain's gone, nigga. It be exciting when I get the strike. And guns sound like thunder, hit you like lightning. Fight for your life, we don't do no fighting. We really hit it, nigga. We worse than savage, they calling us Vikings. Police be riding, we still be sliding. Told you we hitters, remember the time. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get the squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get the squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. How about I leave them holding like the Bible? AR-15, that's a high-power rifle. A in the army and assassinate rivals. Break that shit down, nigga. AK or anybody kill. Hop out, get the drilling and spilling. 7.62 gon' split 'em. LN, that's for any fuck nigga. You a plug, then I'm pulling up, nigga. You my lunch, eating bullet for dinner. 5.0, eat 'em up. SK, smoke killer for show. Drum rounds and cripple ops, Draco. I got 'em all, you don't want no. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get the squeeze, leave a nigga bleeding. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason.